longitudinal distribution of rainfall in the state 1956 से 208. Which of the following statement is not true? Based on a detailed analysis of rainfall data and decadal trends in Jharkhand from 1956 से 2008, the following conclusion can be drawn. Maximum and minimum rainfall decades. The decades 1991 से 2000 received the maximum average rainfall with approximately 1623.5 mm. The minimum average rainfall occurred in the earliest decade 1956 से 1960, not in 1991 से 2000. From 1956 to 2000, the average rainfall rose continuously. In contrast, the period 2001 से 8 witnessed a sharp decline in rainfall. Droughts and water shortage. Jharkhand experienced severe drought post-2000. Districts such as Gumla, Koderma, Hazaribagh, Chatra, Palamu were particularly affected by water scarcity. Seasonal distribution. The state receives the majority of its rainfall during the monsoon, June से September. Only about 17.7% of annual rainfall fall outside the monsoon period. The decade 1991-2000 received the maximum rainfall. Minimum average rainfall was 1956 से 1960. Minimum average rainfall was received during 1991-2000 is incorrect, as the highest rather than lowest average rainfall occurred in this decade. The data clearly indicates that 1991-2000 was the wettest decade in the Jharkhand from 1956 to 2008, while 1956 to 1960 had the lowest average rainfall. The state witnessed severe drought post 2000. After 2000, Jharkhand experienced frequent droughts like condition, irregular monsoon, rainfall variability. Rainfall was maximum during 1991 से 2000, with relatively high average rainfall compared to other decades. दो हजार एक से sharp decline in annual rainfall. Question 77. The district that had been chosen for Green India Mission under NFPCC is the district in Jharkhand selected for Green India Mission under the National Action Plan on Climate Change is Saraikela Kharsawa. Green India Mission, one of the 8 missions under National Action for Climate National NAPCC. Objective is to raise the Green India missions to protect, restore and enhance India's forest cover, respond to climate change, safeguard biodiversity and support livelihood linked to forestry. Implementation in Jharkhand in 2015, 18 villages in the Saraikela Forest Division in Saraikela Kharsawa districts were identified for eco-friendly development program under the mission. Launched in February 2014, the Green India Mission incorporates both adaptation and mitigation strategies to address climate change and promote ecological sustainability. It focuses on increasing forest or tree cover in both forested and non-forested areas, enhancing carbon sequestration, biodiversity, water security, and livelihood support for about 3 million families across India. Ranchi, Koti, Saraikela Kharsawa, Hazaribagh. Saraikela Kharsawa. may mission increase as increasing forest cover, improving ecosystem, enhancing forest bed carbon sequestration. Question 78. Question 78. To minimize the impact of mining, the state government has proposed to bring legislative measures in line with the model of which state? Andhra Pradesh. The Jharkhand government has proposed legislative measures modeled on Andhra Pradesh to regulate mining activities, ensure environmental sustainability, and channel mining revenues for local development. To mitigate the adverse impact of mining, Jharkhand has planned legislation inspired by Andhra Pradesh, focusing on utilizing resources generated from the mining sectors to replenish development funds for local bodies and support environmental protection initiatives. Imposition of cess on mined minerals. The Jharkhand Assembly passed the Mineral Bearing Land Cess Bill 2024, imposing variable cess rates for minerals, 100 rupees per ton for coal and iron ore, rupees 70 rupiah per ton for bauxite, 75 rupiah per ton for manganese ore and others, to increase state revenue and fund welfare programs, including compensation for displaced people. Prevention for illegal mining. The state has implemented the Jharkhand Mineral Prevention of Illegal Mining, Transportation and Storage Rule 2017 in accordance with the Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Act 1957. These rules regulate mineral dealers, requires mandatory registration via the Jharkhand Integrated Mines and Minerals Management System, enforce transit challans for transported ore, and define inspection protocols to curb illegal operations. Focus on environmental clearance. Mining operations are increasingly required to obtain environmental clearance from the state level Environment Impact Assessment Authority. However, compliance is limited, with only a fraction of developers receiving approval, signaling the need for strict enforcement. Sustainable Mining Initiative. The government is collaborating with the Union Ministry of Environment and Forest to adopt management plan for sustainable mining. Initiative forests such as Saranda and Chaivasa. Adjustment aims to balance mineral extraction with ecological concerns, including integrating modern technologies to minimize forest and biodiversity impacts. Task Force on Sustainable Just Transition. Jharkhand has established a multiple department task force to design sustainable low carbon development pathways. Its mandate include promoting climate compatible growth, just transition for local communities, low carbon industrial development and policy intervention, supporting renewable energy and green sector aligning with India's net zero 2070 ambitions. Community engagement and PESA. The Panchayat Extensions to Schedule Area Act PESA framework seeks to empower tribal Gram Sabha to oversee resource management and curb illegal mining in scheduled areas. Effective implementation is pending, but it promises enhanced participation of local communities in mining decisions. Jharkhand approach to minimize mining impacts combine legislative reforms as mechanism for revenue allocation, environmental regulation, sustainable mining planning, task force-led policy initiatives, and local community participation. These measures aims to foster development while protecting ecological and social interests in states' mineral-rich regions. Question Nawasi. Which of the following bodies is responsible for ensuring resource mobilization and timely delivery of mitigation and adaptation plan? State Steering Committee. This question is related to institutional framework of the Jharkhand State Action Plan on Climate Change. The role is to identify sector-specific climate risks, suggest mitigation and adaptation strategies, prepare sector reports, but they do not handle resource mobilization or overall implementation monitoring. The State Steering Committee is the top-level body for the State Action Plan on Climate Change. Its main functions include ensuring resource mobilization, monitoring implementation, ensuring timely delivery of mitigation and adaptation plans, policy direction and coordination between departments. The body in Jharkhand responsible for ensuring resource mobilization and timely delivery of mining revenues is the State Steering Committee. According to the sources, the State Steering Committee oversees the planning, coordination, and execution of the resource mobilization for various state initiatives, includes the development and management of the mitigation and adaptation plan. It is chaired by Development Commissioner of Jharkhand and it includes senior officials from multiple departments, ensuring that resources, including mining revenues, are collected and utilized in a timely and efficient manner. This committee plays a central role in aligning departmental actions, monitoring fund flows, and ensuring accountability related to state resource mobilization. Question C. National Plan on Climate Change by Jpsc was released on 30 June 2009. 30 June 2008. The National Action Plan on Climate Change, which is connected with state plans like Jharkhand Action Plan on Climate Change, was released. National Action Plan on Climate Change was released by Government of India on 30 June 2008. It includes 8 national missions such as National Solar Mission, National Water Mission, Green India Mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, National Mission for Energy Efficiency, etc. State action plans like Jharkhand State Action Plan on Climate Change were later prepared in line with NFCC. 3 January June 2008. National Action Plan on Climate Change on this date. National Action Plan on Climate Change was launched by the Government of India on 30 June 2008 to coordinate national and state level strategies for climate change mitigation and adaptation through 8 core missions and linked state action plans. The NAPCC aims to promote sustainable development while addressing climate change challenges. It provides a framework for India to reduce greenhouse gas emissions intensity, enhance energy efficiency, and encourage renewable energy adaptation. While ensuring energy security and promoting economic growth, the plan recognizes that state-specific strategies are essential due to the diversity in natural resources, industrial activity, and climate vulnerabilities. State action plans on climate change were developed to align with the NFCC objectives, enabling local adaptation and implementation consistent with national targets. Core mission under NFCC National Action Plan on Climate Change encompasses 8 strategic missions. National Solar Missions promote solar energy for power generation. National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency encourages reduction in energy consumption through efficiency measures. National Mission on Sustainable Habitat focuses on urban planning and energy efficient housing. National Water Mission conserves water and improves its efficiency across sectors. National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem. It protects the fragile Himalayan region. National Mission for a Green India expands forest cover, improve carbon sequestration and biodiversity conservation. National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture develops climate resilient agricultural practices. National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. It promotes research, capacity building, and knowledge sharing on climate related issues. These missions serve as a guideline for state level plans, enabling regional customization while fulfilling India's national objectives. State action plans on climate change, sometimes in partnership with the external initiatives like Japan India Partnership for Climate Change, are designed to implement the national policy locally. Adapt analysis mentions through state-specific conditions such as energy consumption patterns, specific climate vulnerabilities, or resource availability. Identify priority sectors for emission reduction or adaptation, including industry, agriculture, forestry, water, and urban management. Promotes investment and capacity building for low carbon technology and mitigation strategies. The collaboration with international partners often provides technical expertise, best practices, and financial support for implementing innovative collaborative solutions. Key objective of NPCC: reduce India's carbon intensity through energy efficiency measures, generate renewable energy, especially solar and biomass, adaptation strategy for vulnerable regions and sectors, encourage research, innovation, and capacity building in climate science, align national and state actions for a coherent climate policy approach. NFCC forms India's central strategy on climate change, launched on 30th June 2008, and provides a coordinated framework for state-level action plans such as those developed under the Jpsc or specific state action plans to mitigate climate risk while promoting sustainable development. Question Ekasi. The IPCC SRES emission scenario for Jharkhand indicates that warming will be relatively greater in winter and post-monsoon season. This is based on climate projection used in intergovernmental panel climate change SRES emission scenarios reference Jharkhand State Action Plan on Climate Change. Warming will be relatively greater in winter and post-monsoon season, according to climate projection. Temperature increase is more pronounced in winter. Post-monsoon season also shows significant warming. This affects agriculture, water availability, and drought frequency. Warming will be relatively greater in winter and post-monsoon season. The IPCC's special report on emission scenarios provides projections of future climate changes, including temperature and precipitation patterns for specific regions like Jharkhand. According to the data derived from World Climate and Regional Climate Models, the scenario predicts seasonal versus variations in warming. Warming will be relatively greater in winter and monsoon season. Warming will be relatively greater in winter. Partially correct. This captures the winter warming but neglects additional warming post-monsoon. Observational and model-based studies show a winter temperature indeed increasing due to greenhouse gas forcing but limiting the effect to winter only incomplete. Warming will be relatively greater in winter and most post-monsoon. The climate models under IPCCRS consistently indicate the winter temperature rise more substantially due to higher greenhouse gas concentration and lower cloud cover. Post-monsoon season also experiences elevated warming influenced by reduced moisture of flux after monsoon withdrawal and increasing radioactive forcing. This pattern of job across districts in Jharkhand consistent with maximum temperature increase. Winter warming is strongest during December, February linked to clear skies and radiate retention. Post-monsoon warming, October to November warming occurs because monsoon rains have subsided, reducing evaporative fall. Accumulated solar radiation during the day contributes to higher maximum temperature. Summer moderation June to September warming is partly dampened by monsoon precipitation and cloud cover limiting extreme temperature rise. Warming will be relatively greater in winter and post-monsoon season. This is fully aligned with the IPCC SRE projection for Jharkhand and regional climate modeling outcomes. Question Biras. The level of urbanization was the highest as per the Jharkhand Economic Survey 2019-20 in the district of Jharkhand. Dhanbad, according to the Jharkhand Economic Survey 2019-20, Dhanbad district had the highest level of urbanization in Jharkhand. Dhanbad is the most urbanized district in Jharkhand because major coal mining area, area called large industrial and mining population, and towns and urban settlement known as the coal capital of India. Dhanbad, as per Jharkhand Economic Survey 2019 means approximately 24.054% of Jharkhand population lives in urban areas, which is below the national average of 31.16, with the urban population growing at a rate of 2.3% per year. Urban population 24.05% of the state's total population resides in urban areas. Growth rate urban areas in Jharkhand are growing at an annual rate of 32.3%, which is lower the national average growth rate for urbanization, which stands at 31.16%. Jharkhand remains primarily rural, with most of its population still living in village and rural district compared to more urbanized states in India. District with highest urbanization. Dhanbad district has the highest level of urbanization in the state, driven by its industrial and mining hubs. The data reflects a gradual transformation from rural to urban settlement influenced by industrial growth, particularly in eastern Jharkhand, mineral-based industry, and urban-centric infrastructure development. Despite the Jharkhand's urbanization level in 2019 which remains below the national average, indicating the ongoing opportunity for urban planning and development. Pachanti Rasti. Jharkhand has been awarded the cleanest state in Swachh Survechhan 2019 and stayed ranked in second. Jharkhand was awarded as the second best performing state in Swachh Survechhan 2019 ranked India's ranking second after Chhattisgarh. In the Swachh Survechhan 2019 survey conducted by Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Jharkhand secured the second position in the best performing state category based on its efforts in sanitation and waste management. Chhattisgarh emerged as the top performing state while Maharashtra ranked third. Despite not retaining the top spot it held previous, Jharkhand achieved notable accomplishment in various categories. Cities performed well in solid waste management, urban innovation, and maintaining open application free status. Notably, Jamshedpur recognized the best performing city in the state, attaining ODF plus status and ranking 15th nationally. Otherwise, cities like Ranchi, Bhuj, Gumla received award for their performance. Additional highlights included regional cohesion recognition for Jharkhand Mega Towns, with Rajmahal and Sahibganj ranking second and third respectively, reflecting comprehensive sanitation initiative at both state and city levels. Jharkhand did not top the overall SWOT ranking, but broadly second position, demonstrating significant progress in cleanliness and urban sanitation management. Jharkhand was awarded the cleanest state in Service in 2015 in the category of short with the less 100 urban local bodies and ranked first. Question 84. The only district of Jharkhand which has received a little more than normal average limit 951 mm of the rainfall till 13 September 2019 is Sahibganj. Sahibganj was the only district that received slightly more than normal average rainfall 951 mm up to 30 September 2019. Most other districts recorded efficient rainfall that year. Sahibganj district in Jharkhand has received a little more than normal average rainfall limit of 951 mm per capita, making it the only district in the state exceeding this threshold up to September 30. District Sahibganj average rainfall 951 mm per capita. Observation period at 30 September 2019. Sahibganj is the only district among Jharkhand's 24 districts that recorded rainfall slightly above the normal average, indicating relatively higher per capita water availability compared to the other districts. While the majority of the Jharkhand experiences water stress or scarcity due to annual per capita water availability often being below 1000 cubic meters, Sahibganj's relatively higher rainfall helps in elevating such condition locally. However, it is also important to note that the large areas of Sahibganj are flood prone, which can impact water management storage despite the above average level. This makes Sahibganj a unique district in Jharkhand in terms of slightly better water availability compared to the state average. Question 85. Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirwad Yojana is a target set by the government to provide welfare and financial support to farmers in Jharkhand was executed in 2019 August. Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirwad Yojana was launched and implemented in August 2019 by the government of Jharkhand to provide financial assistance to farmers. Under this scheme, farmers were given 5,000 per acre per year, applicable up to rupees 5 acres of land. Money transferred directly to farmers' bank account. Aim was to provide financial support for agricultural inputs. The Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirwad Yojana targets approximately 22.7 lakh small and marginal farmers in Jharkhand for financial welfare, covering around 45 lakh acres of kharif crop area, providing 5 lakh 5,000 per acre per year through direct benefit transfer. The Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirwad Yojana initiated by the government of Jharkhand August 2019 aims to improve the financial situation of the farmers before Kharif season and reduce their dependence on non-institutional private loans. It specifically targets small and marginal farmers who are permanent residents of Jharkhand and cultivate up to a maximum 5 acres of land. 22.7 lakh farmers targeted. This scheme का 45 लाख acres of kharif crop area, small and marginal farmers with arable lands up to 5 acre who are permanent resident. 5 acre 5,000 rupees per acre per year with the maximum benefit of 25,000 per farmer for up to 5 acres. The amount is distributed directly into the beneficiary's bank account via direct benefit transfer to ensure transparency and reduce dependency on middlemen. Beneficiaries can use the funds for agricultural purposes, including purchase of seeds, fertilizers, hiring of equipment, labor, and other farming-related activities. Primary goals of Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirwad Yojana is to enhance farmers' income, reduce loan dependency, and provide timely investment support for crop production before the Kharif season. Through this planned financial assistance, the government seeks to strengthen the livelihood of small and marginal farmers and encourage sustainable agriculture practice in Jharkhand. Question 86 in Jharkhand Kharif marketing season runs from which period? 1 October of 1st October of a year to 30th September of a next year. In Jharkhand, generally in India, the Kharif marketing season refers to the period during which crops like paddy are procured, stored, and marketed. 1st October to 30 September considered. This is a standard Kharif marketing season period used for procurement of paddy, storage, and distribution for grain accounting. 1st October of the first year to 30th of next year. In Jharkhand, the Kharif marketing officially runs from 1st October to 30th September of next. Kharif marketing is the past period during which the Kharif crops, primarily paddy, major pulses are procured from farmers by government agencies such as Food Corporation of India to ensure fair prices and food security. This region aligns with the post-monsoon harvest, enabling farmers to sell their crops soon after the Kharif cropping period, which generally spans June to September, 1st October of each year. During this period, the government coordinates procurement operations, including opening procurement centers, arranging storage facilities, and managing logistics to purchase crops at minimum support price to protect farmers from distress sales. This time frame allows continuous procurement for the state and integrates with the broader national program like Central Pool of Food Grains. Before KMS begin, the Department of Food and Public Distribution meets with state officials to finalize procurement targets, storage recruitment, and operational arrangement. The Rabi market seasons, which deals with mainly with wheat and sometimes barley, typically runs from 1st April and to 1st March. Question 87. The share of the industrial sector in the group state value added of Jharkhand in the year 2019-20 is about 40%. Jharkhand Economic Survey 19-20 is often asking 2019-20 के अकॉर्डिंग एग्रीकल्चर 14 से 15%, इंडस्ट्रियल 40 लगभग 38.8%, सर्विस 46 से 47%. Jharkhand is mining plus industrial economies, so industry share is high, but service are still the largest sector. 39 based on annual survey 2023 है झारखंड इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ग्रॉस वैल्यू एडेड फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्री इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर 24 करोड़ 58,33,000 एग्रीकल्चर कॉन्टेक्स्ट एब्सोल्यूट जीबीडी ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री is available from the ASI total GDP of the although the exact GFC is not is contributing 30 to 35% of the GSBA with agriculture and service making up the remainder. Industrial 34%. Question 88. The government of India has approved the setting of a plastic park at a cost of rupees 120 crore in an area of 150 at Devgar. The government of India approved the plastic park in Jharkhand as a ministry of chemical and fertilizers. 2018 120 crore 150 एकड़ develop plastic and polymer manufacturing industries and generate employment. Plastic park allow the Devgar. You may approve the plastic park. Park will manufacture plastic bags, water tanks, bottles, molded furniture, polymer products. It is expected to generate a large employment and industrial development in the regions. Cluster ecosystem for plastic and polymer industry, plastic hub, fragmented sector in India, increasing competitive and value addition, modern manufacturing research and development integration, and resource optimization, direct employment of 2,000 people, indirect to 30,000 individuals. Central Institute for Plastic Engineering and Technology is being planned alongside the plastic park. Trained plastic engineers and technicians. Plastic recycling unit at 3.5 crore will address plastic waste management, especially critical for Devgar high-tourist destinations generating significant plastic waste 5 crore tourists annually. Promotes environmentally responsible growth through recycling and waste management. Park aligns with the Government of India's policies to strengthen petrochemical and polymer sectors. Its projects Jharkhand as a major investment destination for plastic industry. Stakeholders and encourage private and public sector collaboration, enhance India's global share in plastic trade by creating an infrastructure that enables scale innovation and standardization. The Plastic Park initiative represents a transformative step for Jharkhand, combining industrial growth, employment generation, skill development, and environmental sustainability. It aims to establish Devgar as a strategic plastic manufacturing and innovation hub, contributing significantly to both state and national economic development. Kochan Nawasi, the religious head of the Munda Balaji, is Pahan. Munda tribe, religious head Pahan. Mato is the village admin, administrative head in many tribal villages including Munda and Ural. Village administration, revenue collection, settling dispute, managing village affairs. Mato is administrative head, not religious head. There is the religious priest in Ural tribe village, not in Munda village. Naya is the village priest in Santal tribe village, responsible for ritual and village worships. Pahan is religious head or priest of Munda village. Perform village rituals, worships of village deities, and religion conducts festival and sacrifice, responsible for spiritual protection of village. Mato administrative head, Pahan religious head, Munda, Mato Pahan, Urao, Mato Deri, Santhal, Manji Naya, Po, Munda Devri. The religious head of a Munda village is called the Pahan, who serves as the village priest and intermediary between the gods and the villagers. The Pahan is responsible for ceremonies. He presides over communal festival, marriage ceremonies. He may also be super guideline for agriculture hunting activities. In Munda, we Pahan specially with them. Villages Kochan Nabe named the ruler shifted the capital of Nagvansi state from Sutiame to Chutia. Pratapala. The capital of Nagvansi ruler was first at Sutiame and later shifted to Chutia by Pratap Rai, who was an early Nagvansi ruler, founder of the Nagvansi dynasty. Pani Mukut Rai established the capital at Sutiame. Maitri Rai belongs to Chero dynasty associated with the Palamu forts, not related to Nagvansi capital shifts. Pratap Rai, this Nagvansi kingdom shift capital from Sutiame to Chutia. This was the first capital shift of Nagvansi rules. Sitavara British period administrator, not a Nagvansi ruler. No relation to capital shift. Sutiambe, Chutia, Kokdagar, Doisa, Palkot, Ratu. Raja Pratap Rai was the Nagvansi ruler who moved the kingdom's capital from Sutiambe to Chutia and invited settlers to his new capital. The Nagvansi dynasty, also known as the Pokhara chieftaincy ruler, the short Nagpur played for many centuries. The dynasty traces its origin to Pani Mukotrai, the founder who initially established Sotama as the capital. Over time, the Nagvansi rule consolidated power, governed a large part of the plateau, and made a strategic decision for administrative and defense. During the 4th century CE, Raja Pratap Rai decided to shift the capital from Sutiama to Chutia, a location in present-day Ranchi, Jharkhand. This move was likely motivated by administrative, strategic, and settlement considerations. Pratap Rai actively invited people to settle at Chutia, turning into a center of governance and habitation for the Nagvansi kingdom. Archaeological remnants of Chutia date back to at least the 2nd century CE, indicating the area's long-standing historical and cultural significance. Shifting the capital helped the Nagvansi kings consolidate political power, enhance defense, and manage resources effectively. It also laid the foundation for subsequent development in Ranchi, which later became the headquarters of the region under both local rulers and much later British administration. Pratap Rai's decision to move the capital from Sutiama to Chutia marks an important milestone in the history of Nagvansi dynasty, reflecting strategic governance and urban planning in early medieval Jharkhand. Kochane Kanbe. The head of the Pada Panchayat is known as Pada Raja. The Pada in the Pada Panchayat system, Pada system is a traditional tribal administration system where several villages from a Pada. Each village had a head. A group of villages governed by Pada Panchayat. The head of this Pada Panchayat is called Pada Raja. Pada Raja is the chief or head of the Pada Panchayat, which is a traditional tribal governance system among Uav tribes.
He supervised inter-village disputes, social rules, festival custom, administrative coordination among village. Thakur is generally a landlord who did not relate to province. Kota is a village watchman or messenger. Hathu Munda is related to Munda tribal village administration. Munda tribe, village head Munda. Religious as Bahan. Religious regional head Maki. Ura Mato. Dehri Bada Raja. Santhal Manji. Naya. Parganet. Ho. Munda. Devri Manki. The head of the Pada Panchayat known as Pada Raja, the Panchayat covers the confederacy of 5 to 25 neighboring villages, and the Pada Raja serves as the overall chief president for meeting society function and judicial matters of the Pada. Other officers include Diwan, Thakur, Pandey, Karta, Karta, and Lal Bhatta, assistant region of Pada Raja, Pada Raja. The assistant of village admin in the Santhal village is called as Paramanik. Santhal village administration, Manji village admin, Paramanik assistant to Manji, Naike religious priest, Parganate head of group villages. Manji is a religious village headman, not the assistant. He responds to administration, dispute settlement, and so Paramanik is the assistant to Manji, helps in village assistant decision making as act as a second in command. Maike is the religious head of the principal village. He performs rituals, worships of the village deities. Paraganate is the head of the multiple village. Paraganate is the several single village. Traditional tribal governance system like Santhai are Ingrid or Panchayat extension to schedule area 19 imposing on tribal ceremony and customary laws strengthening Gram Sabha roles in Jharkhand. Paramanik in the Santhal village, the village admin is known as Manji, who exercises primary authority over village governance, social order, and community decision making. The assistant to Manji, effectively the deputy or supporting admin is called the Paramanic, also sometimes special Paranic. Key aspects of this supporting duties: the Paramanic assists in the Manji in day-to-day administrative functions, implements decision of the village council, and communicates ruling to villagers. Acting authority in the absence of the Manji, the Paramanic takes over managerial responsibilities. Section if the Manji resigns, dies, or has no eligible successor, the Paramanic may assume the post of the Manji. Village council functions. The Paramanic is a crucial member of the village council called a Umahanar, which includes other officers such as Jogmanji, deputy headman, Godet, messenger secretary, Maike, village priest, and others. Hereditary head. While the position is often hereditary, the Paramanic is accountable to the village and can be replaced if deemed incompetent. Parani, the principal assistant to the Manji village admin. The role is embedded in the Santhal tradition council system, which emphasizes hereditary leadership, social cohesion, and consensus based governance. The village governance of the Santhal is a particularly hereditary system in which the Paramanics are reserved by the official assistant and potential successor to Manji, ensuring continuity and smooth functioning of the village administration. Kocham Tirambe, the meeting of Panchayat in Amunda village held persons. Sarna Sthal. Akhra. Sarna is a sacred group religious place of the tribal pure where village cities worship religious ritual and festival like Sarugula performed here. Akhara is the village dancing ground, community meeting place in Amunda village. Panchayat meeting are held here. Community gathering take place, festival dance and social function are organized. So Panchayat meeting place equal to Akhara. Sasan is a burial ceremonial ground of the village. Kharna is not related to Munda Panchayat system, which is Chhat Puja ritual. Traditional tribal government system, Munda Manki system, Pada system, Manji Pargana system, Panchayat. Extension schedule area of Nishan which gives self-government power to tribal governments in schedule areas like Jharkhand. In the traditional governance system, Munda tribal community of Jharkhand and surrounding regions, each village has a council known as Panchayat, decided over village by village called the Munda. The meeting place where these Panchayat sessions are held in the social significance, the public meetings which of Munda village to Akhra. Akhra serve multiple purpose. It is a site for Panchayat deliberation and decision making. It acts as the gathering space for youth to participate in cultural activities such as dance and music. It functions as a center point for community dispute, course and dispute settlement. Consistently identifying Akhra as a designated place for village Panchayat meetings. Sarna sacred Garav with a Chasan, Utiora Youth Dormitory Training Center. Traditional Munda village with convenes at Agra. This reflects the customary self-governance practice of the Munda tribe, integrating administrative, judicial, and cultural functions in a central communal space. Douglas were administrative systems associated with the Birhor tribes. Kharia tribe. Douglas was administrative associated with the Khari tribe of India, primarily located in the state of Jharkhand and extending into part of Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh. Meaning of terms Doklo means literally means Khadia means Doklo means meeting, Khadia means language. So over refers to the president of the meeting. Doctors are served as the chairman over inter-village or multi-gotra disputes. The system involves gathering representatives such as Matopan and Katha from various villages to discuss issues, make decisions, and enforce traditional norms. Doctors are selected among the career leaders and holds authority for organizing meetings, resolving communal disputes, and guiding societal progress. This system exemplifies decentralized tribal governance, emphasizing consensus and community oversight. The Karya people reside mainly in Gumla, Simdega, Ranchi, and also in parts of Odisha and Chhattisgarh. The tribe comprises subgroups such as Pahadi Kadiya, Dudh Kadiya, Telki Kadiya. Local soil tribe is a traditional governance form especially linked to the Kariya tribe. It reflects their social organization, communal decision making, and customer law enforcement mechanism. Local soil administrative system is associated with the whole tribe. Kochan Panchambe. What is Bitlaha? A kind of punishment. Bitla is traditional social punishment systems among tribes of Jharkhand, especially among the Santhal tribe and some other tribal communities. It refers to social boycott or excommunication of a person who violates social customs, marriage rules, or community laws. Punishment may include social boycott, fine, ritual prohibition, exclusion from community function. Bitla is a traditional social usually given for breaking marriage rules, violating tribal customs, social crimes, intercaste or tribal without approval. Traditional tribal customs like social punishments, community justice, and village council decisions are now discussed in the context of Panchayat. To schedule area act and should be organized customary law, social practices, and traditional dispute resolution system in scheduled areas like Jharkhand. Modern law does not allow extreme social boycott or illegal punishment, and as per extra regulator and regional law. Bitla is a kind of punishment. It is a social sanction used primarily by the central tribes and some social authorities and communities to penalize violation of sexual norms, particularly acts considered incest or sexual relation with outsiders and Santhal separate Udik. A person declared Bitla is effectively outcasted, exiled from the community and shunned from social and religious activity. The punishments are both as a deterrent against sexual misconduct and a mechanism to enforce tribal norms. The improved rights of communities can allow the individual to be integrated into society. Question Chianbe. What is Chandra Bainsi? Hunting Council. Chandrawasi is a traditional hunting council assembly among tribal communities of Jharkhand, especially the Avo tribes and Munda tribes. It is a meeting organized before the community festival, hunting festival. Chandra is a decision related to hunting, forest rules, and community matters are taken. Chandra means traditional community hunting festival. Bansi means council or meeting. So Chandra Bansi is called hunting council. Chandra refers to council meeting before hunting festival. Section on hunting rules, forest use is community decision. Traditional hunting festival like Sena sometimes come into news because wildlife protection laws protection conflict between traditional practice and wildlife protection regulated by forest department. These issues are often discussed under the Forest Right and Travel and Schedule areas governed by Panchayat Action Forest Right Act Hunting Council. Chandra refers to hunting council is associated with the Vishnu Chandra Parva annual hunting festival observed by tribal communities as well as neighboring regions in Odisha and Astronaut Guru Sundar Chandra Samiti DVS organized this festival, which traditionally involves tribals gathering in the forest of Dalma Hills near Jamshedpur and followed by offering animals and birds to the locality. Dalma Guru, although condemned for it, is often graduated. Dalma Suru Sandra Samiti organized the festival which traditionally involves tribal gathering in the forest of Dalma Hills near Jamshedpur to hunt, followed by offerings of animals and birds to the local deity. Dalma Guru, although contemporary practices often emphasize a bloodless celebration, especially in compliance with wildlife protection to the core cultural issues and Chandra Vuans historically as a council in these hunting activities. Santan, according to BPKC, which of the following castes is not considered Sadhan? Bhumihar. This classified is based on the writing BPKC who studied the Sadhan community of Jharkhand. Sadhan refers to non-tribal traditional inhabitants from Jharkhand who have been living in the Chotanagpur region for a long time and are actually didn't with the region. According to BPKC, Sadhan community include Theli, Kormi, Koiri, Turi, Lohar, Bapta, Kumhar, Kahar, etc. Bhumihar is not considered Sadhan case. They are historically landholding caste from Bihar or UP region. Theli Sadhan caste. Theli are traditional oil production and Western community in Jharkhand. Bhumi are not Sadhan. Traditionally landholding caste mainly from Bihar and Eastern UP and not classified. Turi community bamboo worker represents Bogta is also considered part of the social group. The term Sadan versus tribal identity often appears in Jharkhand politics and debates local policy development, land laws, anti-accessibility act. Sadan versus tribal identity. Reservation and identity policy in Jharkhand is poverty. Outdated because the Boyar caste is not considered Sathan distinct from them from and tribe Indo-Aryan communities of Jharkhand. The term Sathan refers to non-tribal Indo-Aryan ethnic groups inhabited in Jharkhand who traditionally engage in cattle agriculture. These countries with Adivasis travel to historically led nomadic person. Some of them speak languages such as Nagpuri, Kurmali, Kota, Bhojpuri, and have established permanent settlements in Chotanagpur region. Biggest विशेषतौर पर साल के शुरू में social leader Jharkhand culture diet solidified the classification opponent in the region according to while many non-tribal groups are considered Sadan. The Buyar caste does not fall under this category. This is based on historical and social culture practice separating Buyars from the traditional Sadan community. Kocha and Hanbe, which of the following tribes is included in the official list of scheduled tribes in Jharkhand? Birija also is based Birija. Bhuja is Odisha, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal. Birija is a primitive tribal and is officially listed of scheduled tribe in Jharkhand. Ladehar, Gumla, Lavara, Daga, Kadwa. Manya tribe, Odisha, not in. Raja, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. Major history of Jharkhand: Santhal, Munda, Ora, Kharia, Birhor, Asur, Birja, Paharia, Saurya, Paharia, Korwa, Bhumi, Gond, Kharwar, PBT, Asur, Birhor, Birja, Korwa, Mar, Paharia, Saurya, Paharia, Sewar, Hal, Kharia. Current Forest Act implementation, PBT, welfare scheme, nutrition and health program, agro model, tribal subplan, and governance special PBT like Birhor and Vision for livelihood of Birja, Jharkhand officially recognized by the scheduled tribes. Example of tribe including the official scheduled tribes in Jharkhand are Asur, Baiga, Banjara, Bathuri, Betia, Bhumis, Binja, Biror, Birja, Chero, Jaik, Parad, Gond, Gorai, Tho, Kadwar, Karmali, Kharia, Kharwar, Khond, Kisan, Kol, Kora, Korwa, Lora, Mali, Malparia, Munda, Urao, Paria, Santhal, Sabar, Surya Paria. What tribe is a permanent scheduled tribe annually studying South Jharkhand with population of about 9 lakh? The state according to the Jargar, another example is the Munda tribe is officially listed among the states. Kochani Nambe among the following was the leader of Kharwar movement. Bhagirath Manji. The Kharwar movement was led by Bhagirath Manji in the Santhal Pargana during 19th century. It was a religious social reform movement among the Santhal returning to pure tribal region, opposing Jamdars and British authorities. Social reforms in unity amongst Santhal. The former follower was called Kharwar. Siddhu Murmu and Kanu Murmu, the Santhal rebellion, Santhal Uri Nata, the first one against British and Jamdars, not the Kharwar movement. Bhagirath Manji, leader of the Kharwar movement, started religious reforms among Santhal supporters of British revenue system, encouraged travel and unity. Sahib Kariwal later after Santawan, Jharkhand along with the ticket, Umrao Singh not related to Kharwar movement. Pandey Ganpat Rai, who also leader Chotanagpur not the Kharwar movement. Santhal Hul Birsa movement, Kharwar movement, tribal identity movements, Pathalgadi movement, forest right, the tribal autonomy and land right. CNTSPT Santhal Hul Divas 30 June every year. Bhagirath Kharwar movement also known as Sapawar movement via social religious tribal movement initiated by Santhal community also outside in the Chotanagpur region of Bihar, Bajaj, Jharkhand, subjected to promoting monotheism, carrying in social reforms among Santhal cities, exploiting by British sovereign north. So, Bhagirath Manji, the leader of the Kharwar movement, is mobilizing the Santhal community to embrace monotheism, abandon harmony issues, declaring himself the king of Santhal villages, asserting self-governance over revenue collection, leading an unviolent resistance against British revenue policy, inspiring unity and cultural revival among the Santhal. Other tribal leaders, Sidhu and Kanu Murmu, were prominent in the Santhal revolt of Chapal. They were not with the Kharwar movement. Kochan 100. Which of the following eminent persons from Jharkhand was the conversion of tribal people to origin under the influence of Christian missionaries? Kartikuram. Kartikuram was a prominent tribal leader from Jharkhand who opposed the conversion of tribal people to Christianity under missionary influence. He raised the issue of religious conversion among tribal communities. He argued that converted tribals who were losing their traditional culture and identity. He demanded separate religion, support tribal regions, Sarna religion. He also raised the issue in parliament as with the Sarna code. Jayapal Singh Munda, leader of the Jharkhand Party movement, founder of the Jharkhand Party member of Constitutional Assembly, he supported tribals and autonomy. He did not lead the movement in Christian faith. Alvada Communists of the Qatar, India, Pakistan, were Parambir Chakra, not related to influence of Mukhan Nayak, famous singer, one of the tribal and ethnic culture, not Kartikuram, tribal identity movements, and demand. Travel and politics culture politics Jharkhand politics in the starts of the radio very important to Jharkhand. Arthik Udaman and person Jharkhand oppose the conversion of tribal peer include Kantikura and Birsa Munda. Actively oppose the conversion of tribal education and mission and economics. So Hindu tribal chief Akil Bharti Adivasi Vikas Policy to protect tribal rights. Fought legal case against missionary and advocated restricting benefit to tribals. Initially, in converted Christian to join German mission school, but later reverted to his tribal and led tribal community against mission converting effect to religious. Rewards and the encourage tribal to adapt to his traditional son and appliances. खत्म